Want to get this briefing by email? Here's the sign up. Good evening. Here's the latest. Eric Thayer, Getty Images 1. The FCC unveiled a plan to repeal net neutrality rules, which require broadband providers to give consumers equal access to all content on the web. The FCC chairman appointed by President Trump, Ajit Pai, above, said the change would allow the government to stop micromanaging the Internet. It's expected to be approved on December 14 in a party-line vote by the agency's 5 commissioners. But some companies will probably put up a legal fight to prevent it from taking hold. This video explains how net neutrality works. In other business news, Uber announced that it has gained access to the personal data of 57 million drivers and riders, and the company kept it a secret for a year. It has since fired its top security executive, Alex Wong. Getty Images 2. Nancy Pelosi, the House Democratic leader, has called on the Ethics Committee to investigate UAL harassment charges against John Conyers, Jr., the House's longest-serving member. Mr. Conyers, 88, a Democrat from Michigan, above confirmed a settlement in a lawsuit from a former employee who said in 2015 that she was fired for refusing to have with him. He denied any wrongdoing. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand discussed UAL harassment on Capitol Hill on The Daily. In the media world, CBS fired Charlie Rose after multiple women accused him of UAL misconduct. PBS cancelled his show, and Bloomberg TV also cut ties. Tom Brenner, New York Times 3. President Trump seemed in his element at the annual White House turkey pardon. He marveled at the size of drumstick, 36 pounds, that's a big bird, admired the animal's appearance, beautiful turkey, and praised the facility where the turkey would settle, Gobbler's Rest, beautiful place, as well as the university that houses it, Virginia Tech, tremendous school. Afterward, Mr. Trump defended Roy Moore, noting that the Senate candidate from Alabama has denied the allegations of UAL misconduct against him. Then, Mr. Trump took off for Mar-a-Lago, where he'll spend the Thanksgiving break. We collected the best writing from the right and left on the Republican tax plan, which Senate leaders are aiming to get on Mr. Trump's desk by Christmas. Philemon Bulawayo, Reuters 4. Elsewhere in the animal kingdom, President Trump's surprise intervention to try to help save the elephants of Zimbabwe and Zambia from becoming hunt trophies drew praise from across the political spectrum. But the question of why he did it became, well, pachyderm in the room. Aides had a simple explanation: the president likes elephants. Bill Clark, CQ roll call, via Associated Press 5. Representative Dana Rohrabacher, a 15-term Republican from California, has laughed off suggestions that he is a Russian intelligence asset. But investigators might not see the punchline. The FBI and the Senate Intelligence Committee are seeking to interview him about a meeting with Julian Assange. The special counsel, Robert Mueller, is said to be interested in a meeting Mr. Rohrabacher had with Michael Flynn, Mr. Trump's short-lived national security advisor. Republicans are curtailing Mr. Rohrabacher's role in Washington, and challenges in his district are smelling blood. Pool photo by Mikhail Klementiev 6. President Bashar al-Assad made his second known trip out of Syria in 7 years of war, visiting Russia and thanking President Vladimir Putin for the military intervention he credited with saving the country. Iranian and Turkish officials are joining them for talks aimed at ending the war. Our correspondent traveled to Damascus, the capital. She found those who had not fled mourning and lonely. Everybody has a story. An art dealer in the old city told her. Somebody lost their house, no one is the same. Next door in Lebanon, the former Prime Minister, Saad Hariri, returned home after his surprise resignation in Saudi Arabia. Ben Curtis, Associated Press 7. Robert Mugabe, who once proclaimed that only God will remove me, resigned as president of Zimbabwe shortly after lawmakers started impeachment proceedings. Mr. Mugabe, 93, had been in power since 1980. Jubilant residents poured into the streets. This video looks at the mix of hope and skepticism Zimbabweans have about the future. Hillary Swift for the New York Times 8. The game really is rigged. That was another Robert Reich, the 71-year-old Berkeley professor and former Labor secretary. He's become a social media star with his broadsides against Washington and our economic system. We met him at a steakhouse across from the New York Stock Exchange, where he ordered a small garden salad as an entree. The restaurant was his choice. The topic is new Netflix, Saving Capitalism, which argues that corporations and the wealthy have taken over the legislative process. Jenny Augusta Brown's Come 9. The story of Thanksgiving, as most Americans have been taught it, is not exactly accurate. Above the First Thanksgiving at Plymouth, from 1914, by Jenny Augusta Brown's. The Pilgrims did celebrate the harvest with members of the Wampanoag tribe in 1621. But while it may have been a moment of cross-cultural fellowship, it was an outlier in a bloody history of conquest. And calling anything the First Thanksgiving is a bit of a misnomer. Both Native American and European societies had been holding festivals to mark successful harvests for centuries. CBS 10. Finally, Stephen Colbert riffed on President Trump's anger over the UCLA basketball players arrested in China after being accused of shoplifting. After helping to secure the release, Mr. Trump ended up in a feud with one of their fathers, Lava Ball, who refused to thank the White House. "I should have left them in jail," Mr. Trump tweeted in reply. "Imagine Thanksgiving at the Trump house," Mr. Colbert said. "Let's go around the table and all say what we're thankful to me for. I'll start. Have a great night. Your evening briefing is posted at 6 p.m. Eastern. And don't miss your morning briefing, posted weekdays at 6 a.m. Eastern, and your weekend briefing, posted at 6 a.m. Sundays. Want to catch up on past briefings? You can browse them here. If photographs appear out of order, please download the updated New York Times app from iTunes or Google Play. What did you like? What do you want to see here? Let us know at briefing@nighttimes.com.